Hello Flosstube, my name is Ria and I am the Blue Crossstitcher, and welcome to my channel. This is Flosstube number 12 and today's date is October 30th, 2024. And this is my Flosstube. I talk about, it's mostly cross stitch and life. And I'm not one of those Flosstubers that has a set schedule. Last time I filmed was September 25th, last month, 2024. So let's get cozy and let's catch up. I got a lot of catching up to do because it was Stitch North this past weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday was Stitch North. So there's a lot. There's a lot. There's a lot of haul and some projects that I brought with me that I worked on. And some of the projects are also new starts I did. So we will get into all of that in a bit. Let's start off first updating on a particular whip that I did not take with me. If it's on scroll rods, it's staying home. And that one is the Autumn is as Joyful Sal. That's Samantha, the Hygge Stitcher, had hosted. That started first day of fall, September 2022. Sorry, there's a glare. I'm in my craft room, so I'm in the basement, and there's overhead lights, and overhead lights suck. And then I'm hoping we have good sized windows and it's facing west, so we're getting towards the end of the day because it's after 2:20. So I'm hoping as the natural light comes in. So excuse the glare. Again, natural lights, overhead lights, sorry. So this is it, and it's on my scroll rods that went on my Hearthside Crafts floor stand, my go-to. And I am stitching on 32 count platinum Belfast linen using the called for DMC threads. Now I just kind of pulled the whole frame off. Just give me a second here. I'm trying not to bump things. This tripod thingy that I'm using is a little more wibbly wobbly than the one I have upstairs. So hopefully I don't feel like I'm a drunk. Yeah, it's a bit wibbly wobbly. Anyways, this is, I started in the center. So there it is. I'm really enjoying this, and I worked on the inside of the door and the windows and all that yesterday. It's the first time I picked up a needle and thread since I got back on Monday. There's that. So we'll see how far. So many stitches, so little time. Let me put this down. I gotta pop out of frame here for a second. Sorry. So it's not my usual setup because it's nice and quiet down here right now. My husband's home. My daughter Amanda's away, but the windows are open because it's very warm. It's kind of scary warm. It's like 22, 23 and very humid. So it's loud because there's some properties are having lawn care. So you got leaf blowers, lawnmowers. So down here it's quiet, it's cool, but my lighting and setup is just not the same, and I'm working on it. So you might see me disappear as I grab things that are on the floor. Anyways. So that's the big whip that I've been working on a bit. I have some new starts that I took with me. Let's see, what else is there? I'm just flying by the seat of my pants. I made some notes, but it's just very, very spotty. Let's talk about Flosstubers that I have discovered in the last couple of weeks. The first one is Britches Get Stitches. She has commented on my videos before, and I decided to look her up, and I really liked her energy and her channel. She does a lot of haids. I'm not a haid girl. I do admire the finished haids and the process that's entailed, and I admire the people that do that, and it's just pretty phenomenal. Go check her out. I'll put the link below. And the second Flosstuber, it's very brand new, not to just me, but to the Flosstube world. And it's Julia, or Yulia. She's from the Ukraine, and she just had her very first Flosstube recently called, and her channel is UA Stitchers. And you check her out, give her some support, show her some love. She's got some beautiful pieces that she's been working on. The one that really stood out for me was, she does hate as well, full coverage, and it's from a Ukrainian designer, and it's a Ukrainian woman in traditional, it's just her, like a shoulder, and up, like shoulders and up in traditional Ukrainian dress, and it's called Love. And with everything that's going on in the Ukraine, go and show her some love and some support, because I can't imagine the upheaval her life has endured in, can't believe I'm saying this, almost 2 years now. I can't remember. It's all just a blur, the horror that has been happening over there with the war. So there's that. And then a little bit of haul from before I left. I did get a 1, 2, 3 stitch order come in. It took forever, which was really unusual. And I had to pay customs, which is really unusual. I've never, ever have had to pay customs on a 1, 2, 3 stitch order. I know it has to, it all depends on who the customs officer is that you're dealing with. And yeah, we'll see if I ever place another order. I don't know if I might place one before Christmas. I don't know, Christmas is coming, and I just had Stitch North, and Lord knows Rhea has more than enough to work on right now. So we'll see. We'll see what happens next time. But in that 1, 2, 3 stitch order was the rest of the threads for my Primitive Hair Wheel of the Year project. So this is what it's supposed to look like. It's very colorful. And like I've said before, some of the called for threads were discontinued DMC colors, specifically the 3880 range to 3894. There was quite a few, and luckily I found someone, can't remember who had a chart of, if you want 3881, replace it with 164 DMC. So they kind of had DMC replacements for that 3880, just in a different area of the DMC color range. So there is a lot of colors, and the fabric from Evertote, Roxy Floss Co. dyed, came as well. So my plan is, and it's going to be a doozy. I talked to Michelle. She's a friend of mine that I met at Stitch North a year and a half ago, spring 23. I'm losing track of my years. Yeah, spring 2023, I met Michelle, and she's working on it as well. And so she's chosen a different fabric, but she's also using the called for DMC. And I'm doing mine on 32 count dirty porcelain. And I'm hoping with the god-awful overhead lights that we will have somewhat of a show. So yeah, there are, and I mean a lot, like a lot. There we go. Focus on that, not me. So look at all these colors. Isn't that stunning on this? Focus, focus, focus. There we go. So 32 count dirty porcelain from Evertote, and the called for DMC. When I will start that, I don't know. It is a large project. Sorry, editing will be occurring. Like I said, it's not the same setup, and I bumped it and it spins really readily. So I got some books. I don't remember if I shared this last time, but if you follow Krista West, she runs Avalee Folk Embroidery and Cross Stitch. I have some of her patterns and I love them. Well, she has come out with a book, called Everyday Folk. So I had to get that. 175 folk embroidery designs for the home inspired by traditional textiles. And it comes with full-on patterns and step-by-step, such as planning your folk embroidery project, such as a table square. Because our hobby with embroidery, cross-stitch, whatever, you know, in the past had very practical purposes in terms of decorating key pieces of the home, be it a tablecloth, a placemat, clothing, curtains for the bed, depending on your culture and where you lived. She's got a lot of Mediterranean influences in her designs, but it's like even like a drawstring bag, pillowcases. I remember my Beppa, my Oma and my Beppa. Those Oma is grandmother in Dutch and German, etc., and then Beppa is Frisian for grandmother. They would embroider pillowcases, hankies, handkerchiefs. So yeah, it's just some really beautiful designs. Again, there's that glare coming from the window as the sun starts to set. And it comes with the patterns. And it walks you through it all. Wall hangings, you name it. Table runners, pillows, napkins, etc. And then I found this. So everybody's talking about the Brenda Keyes latest motif books, and that's going to be my Christmas wish list this year. So my family can order that for me. But I found this from a used bookstore, and it's one of her older ones called the Sampler Motif Book. What's the year it was published? It was published in 1995. I found this. I thought, kind of cool, man. So it's got different projects, Yellowbird sampler. It's the 90s, right? So things like, oh my goodness, look at this, birds and carnations. Like, look at that. There we go. Isn't that gorgeous? A Yellowbird sampler. Oh, that's just the tip of the iceberg of what she's got in here. There's a lot. Just some basic samplers, just some different projects. And these she even has the symbolism of sampler motifs and what they mean. Like, you know, there's some of the reproduction samplers that you'll see have Adam and Eve on that, and that's supposed to symbol good and evil. Angels, a lot of angels in reproduction samplers. That's in martyrdom. Apples mean love and fertility. So there's a lot, right? So it's kind of neat. The heart, which is the rabbit, is baptism, gentleness, and pride. Although that's the hare. Sorry, hare is timidity. Heart is like, I don't know, it's HRT. I'm not sure. I have to look that up. I'm trying to wonder because there's a lot that have deer lately. Daffodil, duck, falcon, garland, goose, horse, lion. That was in the stitch along for holiday countdown last year with Jacob. And lion means strength, and you'll see that in a lot of countries like England, even the Netherlands, have lion in their symbolism. So yeah. Tree of Life, that's a big one. Tree of Life crosses all religions and spiritualities. Tree of Life is actually a very ancient symbol. And that is supposed to mean immortality. And I also see it as below, above and so below, because we're very rooted into the earth. Goose is stupidity. I did not know that. Anyway, so there's that. And then this is a new to me designer, and she's from the UK, Lindsay Swearigan. And I got her creepy cross stitch and magical cross stitch. Most of her designs, when you look in the book, is on black. but the colorways are in such a way that you could switch them up. It's just really fascinating what she has. And like, let me see it. There we go. Try not to show the actual pattern. The Baba Yaga, which is a Scandinavian Baba Yaga house that's on chicken legs so it can move. I mean, things like that. Dark florals. What else have we got? So there's that. So there's a few things. Spooky rooms. Animals. So yeah, vintage Halloween. Like, oops, I should hold it up longer. There we go. Hopefully there's not too much of a glare. Okay. And then Magical Cross Stitch has the Green Man. Green Man, which is a very ancient symbol. She's honoring the Sabbats. Try not to show the pattern. The Wicker Man. Oh, Samhain. Come on. Looks like she made this one into a tray. Dark fabrics are hard for me to stitch on, but I could see mixing it up. Anyways, I've got those 2 books for possible projects. Now here comes the main purpose for the video, my Stitch North weekend. It was a very, very good weekend. I arrived Thursday, so this is where life meets hobby and business. I had to take some work with me. We had major internet issues starting Thanksgiving weekend, which was a couple weeks ago. And we noticed it Thanksgiving weekend, and then it was just, sometimes it would just go out, and then it was really slow when it was working, and it was very frustrating to do any work. I have a continuing education course that I'm trying to work on, and I've made very little headway on it because it's a lot of video and audio files and PDFs, and I'm barely touched module 1, and I have till June, I think, to complete it. There's like 9 modules with case studies and tests and stuff, but I'll get through it. But it affected that. It affected a lot of things. Email. My husband was getting frustrated. He had to tether his phone to his computer to make Zoom calls, and so it was just audio. It was just an all-around pain in the butt. And then, so that was Thanksgiving weekend, and then the Friday before Stitch North that week, so he reached out to Kojico, our internet supplier. And I said, oh yeah, because we thought, is it us? Do we need a new modem? We were rebooting the modem constantly, thinking, because sometimes that's what you have to do. We have boosters throughout the house to boost the Wi-Fi, and it just didn't work. So my husband called Kojico, and they said, oh no, it's outside of your house. It's something within the system of the area. And it was supposed to have been fixed, and it wasn't. So the Thursday before, the week before Stitch North, so not this past Thursday, but the Thursday before, he called them again and said, hey, or was it Friday? We're having major problems, and it was supposed to be fixed, and it's not. He gave the service rep the ticket number, and they looked at it and said, oh no, it hasn't been, he should have never closed the ticket number. So they sent a technician out first thing Saturday morning, and between our driveway and the next door neighbor is the junction box, you know how with internet. And we saw him with his tablet looking at it and trying to figure it out. And then we saw a neighbor approach him and talk to him. So it's like, okay, the neighbor has it, right? And even they said, like, it seems to be your entire road, yet you're the only one calling. And then the technician came up after he spoke with the neighbor and did his assessment of the situation from the junction box, and he came up and he spoke to my husband, and he said, yeah, we've got 5 calls for your area and we never get calls. And he said, I'm surprised it's only 5. So long story short, somebody somewhere severed one of the lines, because it's fiber optics, right? So it's like a cluster of cables. Somebody somewhere accidentally severed something by not a junction box, but a distribution point. I'm not a techie person here. And so it wasn't just our road, it was the entire area. And it's a large geographical rural area where we live. And he said, you guys are in the yellow, so you actually have some internet, but yeah, it's not working properly. He said, but all these people, and he showed on the map, are in the red, which means they haven't had internet all week. And yet no one was complaining. We could never figure that out, because maybe it's because we work from home. He said, but it's beyond what he is capable of doing. And so engineers had to be called in, and it's a Saturday. How are you going to get an engineer? It was crazy. And Tuesday, we figured they found it, because the entire internet, the Wi-Fi, just gone, which means they found the point, and of course they have to take out what's broken and put in what's, and so it was out till about 10 p.m. Tuesday night. And then it's Wednesday, and I was planning to leave Thursday. So yeah, I didn't get any work done for almost 2 weeks, so I had some stuff to catch up on. So I packed that, left Thursday, loaded up my car. I'm not a light packer. Picked out my projects. Arrived Thursday. I had dinner in my room so I could do some catch up on my emails at least, because even emails was painful. It was like an exercise in futility trying to do anything on my laptop for almost 2 weeks. So I had a bunch of emails to go through and to respond to. Thankfully, I was able to reach out to some people to say, hey, I've been having problems, and I know you're looking for, like somebody was looking for my input on a project they were working on. And I was like, I can't fill out the form and send it to you till my internet's fixed. So managed to do all that. And then there was people reaching out to me. I had a client I was trying to get a hold of, but because it was so weird here. So finally, when I was there, I was able to get in contact with them and follow up with them and how their progress is with the protocol I had set them up with. And so that was my Thursday. And then Friday was the first day of Stitch North. I travel alone because I always have things to do, places to go before and after Stitch North. So I just had breakfast, and like, you know me, like I said before, for me it's breakfast first, then go downstairs. And the ballroom is full. The fall Stitch North was only 1 weekend, whereas in the spring it's 2 weekends. So I'm going to the first weekend next spring. I can't remember the date off the top of my head. It's on their website. Anyways, so I showed up, and then I found a table. We were at table 9, and I was able to sit with Lorna and Shannon from Thunder Bay, Julia from Minnesota, and her friend, good friend, Margaret was there from California, and we took in Judy, who came, from Brazil. Now, Judy has family in the US and Canada, so she was up here anyways, so she was visiting her sister, I think, in Burlington, and so she spent the weekend, let me fix this, sorry, in Brampton with us, and got to know her a bit. So that was my table 9. I caught up with so many people. It's ironic because the very first Stitch North I showed up in 2022, I did not know a single soul. And I know there's people, if you're on the Stitch North Facebook group, they talk about, I'm coming, I've never been, I don't know anybody. And yes, it can be nervous because you're in a room full of a couple hundred people and you don't know a single soul. But the cross-stitch community is such a welcoming and open community that I look back to Stitch North. I think it was 2022 was the first one. I didn't know a single soul. And this year, I knew quite a few people and I made new friends, including my table mates, as I just mentioned, from Table 9. We all follow each other on Instagram. I got to catch up with Karen from the Stitching Owl, but she had to leave early because her husband was running a full marathon in Niagara Falls. I think it was Sunday, so she left early, but I got to catch up with her. And if you'll follow her on Instagram, you'll see she finished her full coverage stained glass owl. Absolutely stunning. Lisa from Forest City Stitching was there, and she finished last year's holiday countdown with Jacob and Evertote and Roxy Fosco. And then I got to meet Lisa from Lost in Stitches, who flew in from Edmonton. And she's such a dear, sweet, kind, generous soul on camera and off. And it was so wonderful to meet her and catch up with her and to see her thriving and doing so well. She's had a bit of a difficult journey the past year or so. So she's looking fabulous. And talked to Ryan from Ryan the Guy. Ryan, you need to do another Flosstube. It's been a year. Got to check up with him. My old table mates from Sudbury, the Northern cross stitchers. I got the needle minder. Northern needle workers, and they just came off Quilts on the Rocks weekend the weekend before, so they were tired, and I got to catch up and see Marlene won first prize, and just in different projects because they actually introduced, I guess, cross stitch to their quilt show because they're master quilters, these guys. But it was wonderful to catch up with all of them. There was a lot. And then there was, of course, all the vendors, the usual, catch up with Leanne from 1897 Schoolhouse and catch up with her. She works in Upper Canada Village in the spring and the summer into the early fall, and she was going back Sunday because I guess this week there's odds and ends they have to finish up to close the village for the season because it's closed to visitors, but they need to close everything up and put it to bed, so to speak, I guess, for the winter. But it was wonderful catching up with her, having some good chats, and there's just so much to talk about. And I got some stitching in, and I bought a lot, some. Yeah, caught up with Hannah and Matt and Caroline. They were so busy, and Carrie, the Evertote crew and Leah, they were just, I mean, anytime it's a weekend like this, these guys are working their butts off. And once again, the Stitch North retreat was amazing. And they hit it out of the park. It keeps getting better and better. Caroline mentioned the dates for next year, which I have completely forgotten. By the time I post this, because it's Wednesday the 30th, so 5 o'clock today, they're opening registration for next fall Stitch North, which will be with Jeanette Douglas. So I will be sitting in front of my computer. It's doing an update right now, so it should be better be done. And my internet seems pretty good. So 4:55 today, I'm going to be sitting with my finger on my mouse, waiting to get onto the Evertote website and register. Hopefully, I'll be successful for the Jeanette Douglas retreat next fall in Brampton. I believe it's the last weekend of October 2025. So yeah, and they are expecting it to sell out, but they did say if you cannot register, so say you go online later today and it's sold out, or even later this week after I post this, contact Hannah at Evertote, and I think she says tell put into it Jeanette Douglas retreat, because she'll put you on the cancellation list, and you need to say where you're from. So if you're within Canada, what province, the US, if you're international, which country. So in the US, I think it's which state, in Canada, which province you're from. And if you're international, which country you're from, because that affects how she invoices you if your name comes up on the cancellation list. Like anything with these kind of events, we're all so anxious and eager to sign up and be able to work with Jeanette Douglas, but understandably, life happens and sometimes you have to cancel. And so I forget the number she said, like even for this past retreat, how many cancellations they had over a year leading up to this. And so, yeah, if you can't get in and you really want to, don't give up. Email Hannah and get yourself on that cancellation list for the last week of October in 2025. And then Teresa from the Kitten Stitcher is supposed to be coming in October 2026. Obviously, that is not opening up for registration, but the 2025, yeah, I'm trying to get my years straight. October 2025, Jeanette Douglas, Brampton, Ontario, last weekend of October. Registration opens today, Wednesday, October 30th. I know this will be posted much later at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope you got in. I'm hoping to get in. I will find out if I'm in. Okay, now let's talk about, I've met people, I've talked to people. I've talked to so many people. Jody, I talked to Shiloh from Crossstitch MD briefly. It's all a blur. I received gifts. I've received, like, it's hard to put in words. It's such an amazing community that we have of cross stitchers. And I know Stitch North is just one of many events that happen all over the world. And I'm so fortunate that I've been able to be a consistent attendee at Stitch North since 2022. And I'm hoping to continue that trend. But again, life. So let's start with, again, different setup. This was my retreat bag. That's how Lorna knew it was me, because she saw me post this on my Instagram the night before, Wednesday, before I left, because I packed it, or Tuesday. So there might be some stuff that I hope, because there is some things I did purchase that I haven't mentioned yet. And this is some of the stuff that I worked on, and then some there was 1 week I had 3 new starts, and I only posted 1 on my Instagram, so you're going to see the other 2. So one of my purchases that I did before the retreat, and this is new to me, this is on my table, so hopefully it's not too shaky. My tripod's on my table. So normally, retreats, I take a Q-snap. I have 2 sizes. This one a little bit bigger. And I've been seeing the Nurge. So I ordered this on Amazon because I saw it. I didn't have time to order it from 123 Stitch. So I got the 4 pieces. It arrived a week before Stitch North. And I gotta say, I do prefer these. They hold the fabric tight. The one thing is, because they hold the fabric tight, hopefully I don't shake the table too much, I do apologize. You do have to make sure you remove the project from the square, because it's so tight, it does leave a bit of a crease mark on the fabric, whereas Q-snap is a little more forgiving for some of the Q-snaps, especially as these things stretch out a bit. So it's a little more forgiving on your fabric, whereas these definitely have to be mindful of taking your fabric out of the hoop before you put it away after you've done working on it. Of course, my rechargeable magnifier. Don't need to talk about that. Put that down here, sorry. I have limited space. I picked this up at Stitch North Spring 2024 from Gamma's Treasures, and I'm loving it. It is my retreat mat, and then there's a little I got orts in here. These are my orts from the weekend, and I think Judy, because she sat next to me, she put some of her orts in there. So I'm going to dispose of that. I love it. I love it. It has a little pocket here, so I put my, I have my room key that goes in an envelope. Did everything just move? I am so sorry. And so I put my room key with my door prize ticket in the envelope. The room key is in here, so I didn't lose it. I know some people were scrambling when it was door prize time. Every Friday and Saturday evening, there was at 8 o'clock, I think it was, they did the door prizes. I never win, and I didn't win this time. So anyways, so let's get to what I worked on. So this is what I worked on at the retreat. So this was number 2 of 3 new starts that I did. I started the week before Stitch North. Does that make sense? Yeah, the week before. So it was the week after Thanksgiving I started these. The first one was the Primitive Hair 1692 They Missed One. It's on the called for 30 count fabric that belongs to Primitive Hair, and you will see how, it was in one of the hoops, how it left the crease mark. So hopefully I can get it out. But I bought the 1, 6, 9, and I started the 2. So I worked on that. Called for fabric, and the thread is from the Gentle Arts Samplers Witching Hour, which is very dark brown. It's almost like brunette from Roxy. So I worked on that. I'm sorry if I'm noisy because I'm opening bags. And then we're going to get to the good stuff of what I bought once I'm done all this. Okay, so I'm going to put this to my left. This I shared on Instagram. This was Evertote and Roxy and Hannah released this in 2022. They still have the PDF available on the Evertote website. This keeps moving. I am so sorry. I need to get a better website. Now I just got cat hair in my mouth. At the time when I purchased it, it was sold as a kit. And it came with a project bag and notions pouch. And fabric and thread. And I believe right now it's just the pattern is available on the Evertote website. It's the Stash Squirrel designed by Hannah. And it's the called for threads. It's on Ada, which I admit has been really fun for me to stitch on. So this is the threads. Grape soda, there's 2 skeins of that. Lily pad, Sunday best, and egg hunt. And it's on Ada. Oops, sorry. Like I said, this is not my usual setup and everything's moving. I am not liking this setup, guys. I am definitely next YouTube going back to my old setup. Anyways, it's Ada. And like most cross stitchers, my start was on Ada. Like when I started stitching, it was on Ada. You can kind of see it's kind of blurred out. Anyways, so it's kind of like it brought back memories of the excitement that I had. I am so sorry. This is going to be the worst floss tube. There we go. Of stitching on Ada when I just remember this because I was in first year college and I was rooming in London because I went to Fanshawe, and I was boarding, so I had a room, and just sitting there working on that piece behind me, and just the excitement as you see this image coming together stitch by stitch, color by color, and it kind of brought back that newbie, I'm a cross stitcher, oh my god, I love this excitement that I had way back in 1987. So this is my progress. I've only done the 2 colors. So this is what it's supposed to look. So like the fabric, the colors, it's a fun little project. And it helped to bring back that excitement of being a brand new stitcher, working with Ada and putting the magic of needle and thread to fabric and creating an image with colors, and just, yeah, it was just so much fun. What's this? I did not work on this. I brought it. Like I said, I'm an overpacker. Sorry. There's going to be some stitching, but it was Caroline's Weeds and Wildflowers. Some people did finish theirs. There was at least one that was framed. They had a brag table this year. So I did not work on it. So it's all called for. Threads and fabric, 32 count. Buttercream? Is it buttercream? They had some there, but oh, I love this color. I did not work on this. I do this all the time. I pack and then I don't take things. Okay, this is one I worked on the room. It's my number 3 of 3 starts that I did. This thing just constantly wants to move. I am not liking this tripod. Now I know why I never use it. So this is another pattern I picked up in 2022 via Roxy Floss Co. And it was a collaboration. It came with a project bag, I think. Or did I order the project bag separately? I don't remember. So Evertote project bag. And it was a collaboration with Sterling Stitches Kitchen Witch. And it uses two. I lost my, oh, there they are. Notions pouch. Called for Roxy Floss Co. thread, chalkboard, grunge, silver birch, and smoke. So right now I've just been working with chalkboard. I did work on this in my room a bit. I did not work on it in the haul. And I joined the Roxy Floss Co. and Evertote Fabric Club. And I'm in the 28 count traditional linen club, because there's different clubs with Ada and linen, traditional, and I think the other one is more modern, brighter colors. And they don't tell you the name, but I found the fabric that I received was perfect for this project, because I didn't have a fabric yet for this. I just ordered the PDF and the thread pack, and I'm pretty sure that's why I got the project bag and the notions pouch. And so this is it. I've just got I started in the middle, right? So there's the T, and I'm trying to finish the W. So it is, you have to ask Carrie what you would call it, because I guess they don't name it on the envelope. It just comes in an envelope and this is it. But it is gonna be perfect on it. Kitchen Witch, and then I'll just change 2022 to 2024, probably 5 by the time I finish this, because it's something I'll come back to. It's very much a seasonal stitch. And then my needle minder, because it's Kitchen Witch, right? Don't make me poison your food. So that I can't wait to get done. Again, 28 count Evertote Roxy Floss Co. Linen Club, the very first of many that will be coming. And it's in the Q-snap, so it's okay. There's a little more, like I said, Q-snaps are more forgiving, leaving your fabric, and I'll have to take it out later. But you can just see, like, oh my God, Carrie. I don't know what it's called. But yeah, I love it. The colors with that fabric. Because yeah, it just comes in a paper bag. See? So there's no name. So we're gonna call Carrie made some amazing fabric, and it's perfect for my Kitchen Witch project. So, and it's moving again. So I know what it is. It's because I'm bumping the table. I am so sorry. I think it's time to stop apologizing. This is an oldie but a goodie that I had fully kitted up at the 2022 Stitch North. Hannah did the floss conversion for me. And this lovely designer, of course, is always at Stitch North. And that is the wonderful Tiny Modernist. And it's the Mushroom Forest. And my fabric is, I gotta get the packaging out. I picked it up. Oh shoot. Atomic Fibers. I lost it. I have it written down. Maybe I didn't write it down. It's Atomic Fibers Frenzy, I think it is. Yeah, I don't have it written down because this was before I started writing things down. This particular start. Oh, right here. Atomic Fibers Linen 28 count for Freezy. I am not a linguist. So there is what I started, and it uses Hannah's Floss conversion to Evertote, Roxy Floss Co. I just lost them. They're in paper, and they're in my little baggies. I am just gonna constantly be moving this. I definitely need to change my setup. So it's all Roxy Floss Co. except for one, which is Classic Colorworks Jolly Holly. And that is this green that I just started working with. Oops. Very itty bitty right now. So it's going to be like a leaf that's coming down. That was the only one at that time that they didn't have the proper threads, which is over here, this green. So let me hold it up a bit longer. So yeah, and it's got back stitching and all that stuff, which I will get to eventually. It's a fun little project, and that was the only thread I could linen at the time that I could find. I was fairly new to finding linens. Okay, let's see if I can stop bumping things. So these are gifts. So Julia from Minnesota made this project bag. Look at that. And I hope I have everything. We're going to find out, because now we are getting to the bit of showing you what I got. Gifts, haul, etc. Cross stitchers are such an amazing group of people. So Julia from Minnesota made this, and there's a cookie somewhere that she brought too. I don't know where the cookie went. I can't eat it because I'm allergic to peanuts, but I brought it home to give to my family. I don't know what I did with it. It's in one of the bags at my feet. So, and this is a lot of the goodies I got, and I probably can't remember everybody. Oh, come on. Focus. There we go. Little loon. All right, let's see what's in here. So Margaret, from Julia's friend, Margaret and Julia are friends, and they traveled from California, Minnesota to be together this weekend at the retreat. And so Margaret made this, I believe. And there is, oh no, this was Megan. Somebody made Megan, so it's full of some stuff. Made this, Megan Webb. I'm gonna have to look her up because this was something I found. Her name's on the back when I arrived. Hello, Table 9. Thanks for making this Stitch North weekend so special. Notions pouch made for you by Margaret Napier from San Jose, California, with her Instagram. And then, of course, we got some goodies, some Garibaldi and Lifesaver peppermints. These are the best peppermints ever. Oh, it smells like Lifesaver peppermints. Lorna also made this. She made some zipper pulls as well. And then some oh, what is this? Oh, it's just for like planner. You can put this on a zipper pull, whatever. It's like a Monet-esque impressionist style painting. What else? Oh, Judy from Brazil brought this. So Brazilian coffee candy ribbon with a cute little pen. Candy. And then floss rings in this Welcome to My Stitching Shed tin. That was Judy from Brazil. And then she brought us, and it's all these ribbons. It has to do with a church. And the ribbons are cut to the length of the forearm of the statue of Jesus in front or inside the church. And I have no idea what it says. I had to look it up and then I forgot. And the premise is, because they're very brightly colored, and it's some practice that's been around for a very long time, and somebody at the church is supposed to tie this ribbon, there's spiritual significance with it within the church, to your wrist, and it stays on till it falls off. So basically wears down. So she got a bunch of these because she said there was a vendor outside of this church. I am sorry, Judy. I can't remember. So anyways, the Grateful Needle, Lori. Another zipper pull. I believe I'm having a hard time remembering. Was this? I don't remember. I do remember. There goes my dry washer. Lorna made this, and I picked it up because it was my husband's dual. So I'm Canadian, he's American-Canadian. He was born in Detroit, Michigan. Moved to Canada when he was a year old. So Lorna made this, and somehow it made it into this little pouch. Was this Lisa? Lisa had a bunch of these, and I think she gave me a bunch. So this is like one of these little pouches. I could be wrong. But, oh, there's stickers. Needle threader with, sorry, I'm jumping here. With a cute little, something's going on outside. Oh, lumber. I think there's lumber being dropped off. My husband has to order lumber. Yeah, this, I think this is Lisa Lost in Stitches. She gave me a few of these pouches. And I picked this one. It's a floss ring with an angel. More sticker. You can never have too many stickers and washi tape. And then this one is another one from Lost in Stitches, Lisa. And it's a zipper pull that says web. Lord knows I have enough of those. And then another angel. This one, PG. Floss rings. I do need more floss rings. I find this weird saying that. I think this is from Lisa as well, just a special gift. Yes, I'm hearing. If you hear beep beep, so there might be a kaboom, as they're dropping off a bunch of lumber for Dave's sky shed. We have walls. That was one of the things we did. We put up walls. We have a doorway, steps, And he's dropping off more lumber because he wants to start the roof trusses. He's got one section of railing, and then he's got to do the roof trusses because it's going to be retractable roof. Oh, oven is beeping. Self-cleaning. My husband. Oven is beeping. Okay, I'm going to have to. I'll be right back. I have my oven on self-clean, and now it's yelling at us, apparently. I'll be right back. I'm back. I was cleaning. We have two ovens, and they both need cleaning, but it's KitchenAid. And so the way they have it set up, because they're built-ins, if you're cleaning one, you can't clean the other. So I cleaned the top oven today, self-clean, and then tomorrow, because we can open the windows because it's so warm, I'll do the bottom oven. But yeah, it was just beeping to say we were done. It wasn't a truck backing in. Anyways, this little pouch, I think it was Lisa, Lost in Stitches. I'm sorry. Floss drops, ring. Oh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? Look at these stickers. I love stickers. Thread. And scissors. Gotta have scissors. Excuse me. Got a tickle in my throat. I'm sorry. Let's grab some water. I'm trying not to bump anything. And so, okay, this is funny. So there is a small world. There is a Stitch North Facebook page. This is the pouch I got from Maryland. Excuse me. And there was somebody, because there's a lot of people coming from different parts of the province, the world. But most of us coming from Ontario are either driving, and some people take the train or fly in, depending on what's going on. But somebody had posted in the Stitch North Facebook group that they were driving from the area north of Guelph, Ontario. Google map it. But she wasn't comfortable driving on the 401 to the 410. I lived in Kitchener-Waterloo for over 20 years, and I'm fairly confident and comfortable driving the 401, 403, 410, 427, all that, 407. But there are times I avoid it. So she was concerned because she's a country girl, and it can be very intimidating when you're not used to 6 lanes of traffic in each direction, and it's very intense, and you've got collector's lanes. So she was asking about if somebody could pick her up or what's going on, and I mentioned the app Wazy. It's an international app. It's free, and you can turn off freeways, toll roads. So I said, if you don't get a ride, I forget her name, download the Wazy app and just turn off freeways. And because of where she's coming, I said, I guarantee it's going to take you in and put you onto Steeles by the outlet mall in Halton Hills. And then you just drive down Steeles about half an hour or so, depending on traffic, because it's Steeles, and it takes you right to the hotel. No 401, 410, 427, whatever involved. And so a woman, Marilyn, her name was Marilyn, and she said, oh, I'm coming from Woodstock. If you can get down to the Highway 6 carpool interchange, whatever, I can give you a ride. And she said, I'm from Woodstock. I went, oh, I was born and raised in Woodstock. I commented, and the name seemed familiar, her last name. And I got to meet her at Stitch North. You know, it's really sweet, you know, wonderful woman. And we connected because we have that Woodstock connection. And she lives just outside of Woodstock. And then Matt from Evertote was born and raised in Woodstock as well. And then at the end, the Saturday, she gives me this little pouch that has some goodies in it. Oh, look at how cute that is. And some tea. And a little angel. Isn't that cute? But her last name, I'm like, I know that name. I'm Dutch. I was born in the Dutch CRC community that is in the Woodstock, Oxford County area. And it's like, no, it's not the Dutch CRC. And then it dawned on me. And so I looked it up, and then I approached her and I said, "Your mother-in-law?" She goes, "Yes." I said, you know, she lived in, I think she was my mom's neighbor at the apartment building they lived in Woodstock. In this apartment building in this area of Woodstock. And she went, "Oh my goodness." And I went, "Oh." And so my mom had a lot of mental and physical health issues. And when she moved back to Woodstock, because she lived in the Kitchener-Waterloo area, but then she moved back to Woodstock shortly after we moved to Ayr. Just because she needed, you know, better doctors, is long story short. Anyway, she had a lot of physical mental issues, and she moved into this fairly nice apartment building, 1-bedroom apartment, and she became friends with an older Belgian, because also they're from Belgium, couple. Belgium and Dutch, they're cut from the same cloth, and there's very similar in terms of language. The language is different, but it's the same. And anyways, and she became very good friends with this older couple. He passed away, and then my mom had some major, like, all her health issues and mental health issues got really bad in 2012 after she had colon cancer surgery, and I had to close that particular apartment because her circumstances did not allow her to live in an independent living apartment. So Marilyn's mother-in-law was my mom's very good friend and neighbor from that apartment building, and they always looked out for each other, and they would play cards. And when I was closing up the apartment, there was some furniture, so I gave it to Marilyn, one of Marilyn's nieces, which would have been her mother-in-law's granddaughter, who was just finished university and was getting her first place in the GTA area. So small world. The mother-in-law is still alive. Hello, Mrs. Vanderboer. And I guess she's 99 and is still living in that apartment in Woodstock. So small world connection, very tight personal connection through my mother and her mother-in-law. And it was just wonderful to connect with Marilyn. And is like, oh my goodness. It's just like, I knew the name. I was looking at that last name and go, I know this name. I know this name. Why do I know it? That is why, because I talked a lot with her mother-in-law when I was moving my mom out, and when she was in hospital for over a year. And the last 5 years of her life, the year 1 and year 5, the full year was in hospital, and then lots in between. And so I talked with her mother-in-law a lot, especially in that first year where my mom was in the hospital. But anyways, small world, got to connect with Marilyn, and I hope Mrs. Vanderboer watches this video. And I'm glad to hear she's doing well and still living in the same apartment that I know oh so well many times. Anyways, the swag bag. So this is going to be crazy. So let me just dump it. Here we go. Throw that over there. Shh. So in our swag bag this year, we have thread bed, little ghosties, scissors from Evertote. The sewing shop gave us an acrylic needle minder with a itty bitty maple leaf, because it is fall. And this was from Anne's Crafts. I did buy some stuff from her, which is in one of these bags. But she has this pattern. Look at that. And this looks like DMC on the threads. Isn't that stunning? And then, now this was a collaboration with the Canadian Stitchery, Evertote, and Roxy. So Canadian Stitchery tends to do the perforated wood. If you go on Instagram, a fair number of people, including Shiloh from Crossstitch MD, a couple other people, they completed it, and they did, so it, there, covering up the pattern. So you got the perforated, the Evertote threads that go with it, and then there's this backing, and then the Evertote booth, they had some of Carrie's hand-dyed embellishments, like pom-pom edging, right? Trim. So they did this with this, right? And then they put the pom-pom, red pom-poms around the outside, and it looks stunning. So go on Instagram, you'll see it. And Leanne from 1897 Schoolhouse Samplers gave us this, and she had this on her table, and it is stunning. It is gorgeous. And it was using the 40 count, is it buttercream? 46 count Beekeeper. Buttercream is slightly different. I don't have 46 counts. 46? Oh, well, for my eyes. I struggle with 40. So maybe I'll do this on 36. But yeah, this is just stunning. What else have we got? Samply stitched project bags. And on the side is a corner gauge with a little, there, sorry. Monkey and Mouse gave us another zipper pull. This one has like little, there we go, stars. Hand dyed Rolanda by Rolanda was there, and we got Raven, which is a very appropriate color. Tidy Modernist Small Fall Sewing. I mean, how cute is that? And then Pansy Patch Quilts was there. And this is the first time she was at this retreat at a Stitch North, I believe, unless she was at weekend too. Yeah, but anyways, this was my first time at a retreat with Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery. And this was in our swag bag from them. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. So that's swag bag. Excuse me while I reach down. Okay. Let's find out what's in the bag. Next bag from when I went to... I picked this up at Westminster Abbey. That was it when we were there in June. So, Evertote is carrying Teresa Kogut Newcastle Bouquet. Oh my God. How gorgeous is that? With the Evertote Roxy Floss Co. Floss Conversion Pack. I'm sorry. It's still in, because... Come on. So that is the floss conversion for this. And I believe this is the fabric. Yes, this is the fabric. Try not to bump things. 32 count biscuit. So talking to Caroline, the cut is a bit smaller than it should be, but I think I might have to, depending on how my framing goes when I do this, but I will start in the middle right here, and then that way I know at least it'll be consistent. It might be a little tight. It'll be 2 inch as opposed to 3 inch, but yes. So when I'm going to start this, I don't know, and I bumped it again. I am so sorry. And then they also had from La Di Da, Sophia, because it's the time period, church kit. So this is Sophia Church H12 1836, and they sold it as a kit at the retreat. Comes with Roxy Floss Co. 36 count speculas and the thread conversion. Again, when I'm going to start it, I don't know. I don't know. Next bag. Oh, this is a big one. Now, this is a bag I made with my Cricut. R is for Rhea. So, Oh, I know what it is. The cord's here for my phone and I keep bumping it and it's 3:30. I have no idea because I've had to stop and start a couple times. So this was the patterning kit for the retreat. So, you know, every retreat, there's a designer that does a pattern just for that retreat. And this year, it was Ellen from Maximum Cross Stitch. And she is doing a series. And so this is the first in her series of historical or specific buildings, homes in Toronto, because that's where she's from. And they had the model there. Stunning work, Ellen. And it's Annex House. And Annex House is one in a series of designs celebrating typical architectural home styles found in the various neighbors of my current hometown, Toronto. I believe she was raised in out west. The Annex is one of Toronto's oldest neighborhoods, which borders the University of Toronto campus, which is pretty close to downtown. Many of its gracious Queen Anne style homes have been divided into apartments and are popular among students looking for off-campus housing. But there are also many that remain stately single-family homes with all of their old world charm. I added the year 1827, which was the year the University of Toronto was founded. And my daughter that currently lives at home, Amanda, she just finished her master's this past June. She did double masters, archives and museum studies, or information. Can't remember. So anyways, the project bag and notions pouch that came with this special thing. And she's got Frank on the back. Ellen always puts a picture of one of her pets, and there's Frank having a sing along. So I did the 32 count because, you know, this is me. And it's Speculoos. Again, Speculoos. It's one of those tried and true linen color fabric dyes. Words. And then this is the Floss. Okay, there we go. There we go. How stunning. So that is Annex House. I'm going to add that to the I'm going to start, but I don't know when pile. Rita's got a lot of those. Then there's only a couple things in this bag. Purchased this bag. I mean, kind of reminds me of Artemis. You can't see her, but she's sleeping around a corner there. We have Amanda's old field trip sleeping bag, and she has declared it as hers. So this, did I just bump it again? I am going to have to go back to my old setup with tripod. This is from Jacob, DCVH 1785. And it's from Rotterdam. And I've spilled on my shirt. So he has listed DMC and Roxy Floss Co threads in this, and I picked out my fabric. I think I picked out a piece bigger than what I need because I can always see. I keep hitting it. It's the cord. It's the cord. I need to keep my phone plugged in so I don't. Oh my God. And I think some of these threads are threads I picked up just because. So that's a whole other ball game I have to figure out. I do have some major organizing to do. And to my winner of my previous 2 floss tubes, I have not had a chance to send her prize out because internet issues and internet infected the post office is in the same catchment area. So it was just dead in the water. Speculoos 32. And I'm pretty sure that these are all the threads. Sorry, it's a mess. It's a tangled mess. It's a biggie. Because it's Jacob. What does Jacob? Well, Jacob does do some small, cute little things, but I always gravitate to his big ass pieces. I think some of these threads, I have to double check and triple check because I did pick up some threads specific for just for myself, like 3 or 4. I have to double check and triple check that they're not in that stash. Because you just kind of throw things in. So yeah, speculoos. So I can't wait. Again, add it to the stash of Rhea needs to get started. It's kitted. I have learned to kit as I go along because I don't do well when it's not kitted. What is in here? Oops. That was some vitamin C crystals in case I was fighting. So this was from Kensington Palace. This bag. Try not to bump. So this is stuff I bought. So Tidy Modernist. I got the cat came back. These are some things I'm going to kit. And then she had a series of terraniums. So Valentine terranium, Night terranium, Christmas, focus. If I get my face out of the way, here's the night one. This one, this is the one that went me, ooh, I saw that, and then I realized there were more. And last but not least, this was another one that made me go, ooh, Halloween. And did I show this one? The Christmas one. Oh, it's gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. All right, what else is in here? Try not to bump the camera. I really hate this tripod. I really do. This was from, what's the name of that? So this pouch I got from Anne's Crafts. Cute. And I just kind of crammed a bunch of stuff in it. So let's see, because I don't even remember half the stuff I put in here. Evertoe. Beach rat. Artsy health. Artsy housewife. Beach rat. Artsy housewife. And I'm going to do, this says beach rat, because now that I live by the lake, 28 count biscuit, I believe, is what I picked for this. And then maybe this is the threads. I have to go through this bit by bit because I have chaos. That's why I'm down here, because when I'm done filming this, I'm going to sort my chaos and make sure the right threads are kitted with the right pattern. And I gotta find those threads I picked up for myself. It's in one of these things. So they have the Roxy Floss Co. Floss conversion. Excuse the chaos. Focus not on me, on the threads with the biscuit. I'm pretty sure this is what I picked. It was 28 count just because it's the beach rat. So that, and then I also purchased from Anne's Crafts was grime guards. So for my 8x8 Q-snap. And then also for one of my Nurges, which is those blue ones, the 11x11. Which just keeps that tucked in. Oh, and I got 3 needle minders from Anne's Crafts. Again, reminds me of my Artemis. Focus, there she is. Because I like photography. And because I think everyone should have equal rights, regardless of how they identify in terms of gender and who they love. They need to live in freedom, with freedom and grace. And then she made this. I think I put stuff in here. put in here? They gave us extra thread for the Canadian stitchery thingy. And then somebody had a bin of stickers. Because more stickers. Be happy. Don't worry. Come on, the Lorax. Everybody loves the Lorax. A gnome, knitting gnome. Mandala. Because this is how I look like at the end of gardening season. Murder is easy. So that is that. And again, I have some major organization to do because I don't, oh, what else is in here? I found the cookies. So Julia from Minnesota brought cookies from the Chocolate Chickadee in St. Paul. And that's Minnesota with the Aurora Borealis. Found them. Oh, that was just something that came with my hotel room. Again, I don't, okay. And then, what's in here? Oh, see, and then I bumped it again. See, I am so sorry. All right, here, let me get rid of this. I'm finding more. It's like Mary Poppins bag. See, I'm going to be sitting down on the floor tonight. Oh, my back. And just going through everything. More stickers. Anyways. This is going to my husband because he can eat these baked goods. Oh! Witch's Tea Party. Tiny Modernist. This fell in. The Black Crow. Because I thought if I ever do a smalls exchange, this might be a cute one to do. Focus. And then these are some freebies I picked up. Some people at our table had freebies, and then the freebie table. So Lizzie Kate Tiny Tidings. Isn't that cute? Octopus's Garden, because it's on my wish list. So now I have the chart. I've got Strawberry Fields, Long and Winding Road. There's 6 altogether, I think. And the Magical Mystery Tour. 4 or 6. And Shannon at my table said she stitched this, and she said it's even more gorgeous in real life. Oh, I also picked this up. Another Tiny Modernist. Like I said, this is just a hodgepodge. Autumn Night Garden. Because I saw the model, and oh my god. What did she stitch it on? 28 linen charcoal dyed effect by Fabric Flare. So that's a Fabric Flare linen, but I'm sure I'll find DMC and Anchor. And then this was a freebie, Nature's Alphabet. Just some of the motifs kind of caught my eye. It's an older one. Elizabeth Foster, 2002. And each letter, of course, and it has Smyrna, Rhodes, Leaf, Stitch, Satin Stitch, but yeah. What I'll do with it, I don't know. Oh yeah, this one's from Texture Treasures, and I really like some of her stuff. Celtic Millennia. That was from the freebie table, I believe. So there's that. Let me set the cookie aside for Dave. Okay, we have one more. Bought this from Monkey and Mouse. It's teacups. I'm a tea drinker. And it holds a lot. Try not to bump. What do we got in here? Oh, a freebie from Raise the Roof. November, December. I just thought it was cute. If I don't do anything with it, I'll just put it back in the freebie. Or use it as a giveaway. I don't know. things in here. Oh, hand dyed by Rolanda, some fabric. I purchased Harvest. This is 36 count. The rest is 32. So Harvest, which reminds me of Buttercream or Beekeeper from Roxy. This is 32 count. Bluestone. Isn't that gorgeous? And Chromium. And I did buy some threads from her, but I don't know where they are. I got a hodgepodge of stuff in here. All right, patterns. So Pansy Patch Quilts was the first time that I attended an event with them there. I have seen some of their patterns, people working on them. I think Caroline did the really nice patchwork Santa that was just stunning. And it was the mother and the daughter and all their stuff. Just like, oh wow. So, you know, true Rhea fashion. I wanted to have it all, but I won't. But anyways, so she has the Betsy's Baskets series. And so she had, and they're pillows, like they're smalls for pillows. And so she had a pattern, one for Canada Day and one for 4th of July. And so Canada Day, we're Canadian, and then Dave is American, and we were married on the 4th of July. So I picked up the Canada Day basket and the 4th of July Betsy's baskets. Then the Houses on Pumpkin Lane series pillows really, really caught my eye. The Wisteria one is beautiful, but this one really caught my eye. And I liked how she had it finished either as one large project framed or a series of pillows. I've never done smalls in terms of a pillows. I've started quite the collection here. Plus there's some in my stash. So these are not kitted. I will kit them up. She uses, let me see, Weeks Dyes Works, Gentle Arts, and Classic Color Works with DMC conversion. The fabric she used was 36 count Dirty Teacup by Needle and Flax. I don't think 123 Stitch makes these, so I have to figure out. I know Needle and Flax. I follow her on Flosstube. I love her fabric, but I have not figured out where I, as a Canadian, can buy it without paying customs or whatever. Anyways, I got all of the 9 charts in the Houses on Pumpkin Lane series. I could end up using like Speculoos or Biscuit from Evertote for these projects. Again, I might be biting off more than I can chew with these. So we got Pumpkin House, Chrysanthemum House. Try to say chrysanthemum 3 times fast. Maple House. They're just so stunning. Sunflower House. I love sunflowers. They're some of my favorite flowers. Butternut House. Candy Apple House. Cinnamon House. Acorn House. And 9 is Harvest House. Look at the little squirrels. Here, I'll move my face. There we go. And then she had this on display, and I love blue. Bluebirds and Bluebells. Sampler and smalls. So she had all the pieces. So there was this large frame piece, and then pillow pin keep, and scissor fob and scissor doom a flicky thingy holder sleeve. So we'll just add to Rhea is going to be Immortal Pile. Oh yeah, this is some thread I bought. I just thought it was cool, from Hand Dyed by Rolanda. I thought it'd be good for like a monochromatic. I have some, like there's one from Jacob I could see using this. some medium-sized one for Jacob. Oh yeah, this is, I bought the pattern. I saw Carrie working, remember Carrie was working on this, the Moggy Manor? So, and I know Janine has charted this with DMC and Weeks and Classic Colorworks. And Carrie did the floss conversion. I'll take a look. Again, I caught up with Leanne from 1897 Schoolhouse Samplers, and I picked up 3 of her patterns to add to my collection of her patterns. I have one that I started last spring, and I have a couple others, and I just love some of the stuff, like the patterns she picks. They're just gorgeous, and the models that she has. So this one is Franny Crompton, 1833. And then Leanne shows the, oh, there's a glare, I'm sorry, what the original looked like that she based it on. Sweet Friendship, Mary Ann Drake, 1856. The girl was 6 years old. Oh my God. And look at that little red house for a 6-year-old. And A Tender Father. So she had this one, 1847. 47. And she had some patterns for smalls, but they were just motifs taken from these, so I just took the pattern. And I think it was like this was part of a small, this was a small. The bird, I think she had as a small as well. And then last but not least, so I had Hannah do a floss conversion for me. So I am part of the Artsy Housewife Patreon. And this was one of the patterns for October. And that's frickin' Artemis. And Christmas. Artemis can't leave Christmas trees alone. We had to, last year we did not put up our Christmas tree because we moved, and I got rid of the old one because Artemis, it was old. It was starting to lose needles before we got Artemis, and then Artemis came along and just, yeah. The cat can't leave a Christmas tree alone, and she has to be in it all the time. She is a monkey. She's sweet. Her meow is broken, so she's very quiet. Her vocal cords got damaged when she was really little. So anyways, Hannah did the Roxy Flossco conversion for me. And look, there's even like a before Carrie rebranded. Come on! Before Carrie rebranded. There we go. Anyways, look at that. Oh, it's gonna be so cute. And I can't have, so I really want to have a Christmas tree this year. Last year, I just had a really hard time just because we were living in a sea of boxes to do Christmas. And then I got some clearance Spaculoss 32 count to stitch it because it's just it's a little pillow. And then I just picked up some trim just because it's cute. If I'll use it, I'll use it. If not, I won't, but I'll find some other use for it. We're going to get a tree this year. We have to buy a new one. I remember talking to my daughters like, oh, do we get artificial or get real? And she kind of looks at me. She goes, Artemis can't stay out of the tree. So we get a real tree. Artemis is going to be covered in sap and Cena and Athena. And because Athena's too fat to get into the tree. She's my fat cat. So we're going to get an artificial because we do not want sap everywhere in the house because of Artemis. I have to find one. It's still early. I'm going to wait probably till mid-November. I've been doing my research. There's a couple garden centers that have trees. We have in the living room, because the ceiling is like a tray ceiling almost. So you've got the main ceiling, which is like over 10 feet tall, and then a secondary ceiling in the living room. That's where we put the tree, which makes it 11 feet. So we can get a really big tree, but then I'm scared that Artemis will climb big tree and knock it down. Anyways, we're researching trees so that we can actually get one that won't fall over. And we can't put breakables on it. And this would be good as an ornament. And even the Lizzie Kate ones, some soft-sided. Now that's something I can't stitch in the next. But if I could do a little bit here and there, because Artemis is only, she was born, how old is she? She was born in 2021. So she's 3. She was born in August 2021. She was born to a feral mom in a wood pile, and the rescue knew when she was born because they were watching the mama make sure she was taken care of. And then when Artemis was 3 months old, her and her brothers were captured by the rescue. And I don't know if they ever caught the mom. They were trying. And her brothers couldn't be adopted right away. They were still pretty feral, but Artemis, they could put up for adoption. She's the traditional tortie, and she's a very sweet, gentle girl, but there is that bit of feral. And if you were to come to my house, you wouldn't know I have Artemis. You'd know I have Athena, but Artemis, no. Okay, plans. October's over. When I'm filming this, it's October 30th. It's 4 o'clock. And tomorrow's Samhain, Halloween. I do want to work on the Autumn is as Joyful sampler a bit more. I think tomorrow. So I had 2 more pieces I got ready. I ironed the fabric and I haven't started them, but I'm thinking I could start one tomorrow and one Thursday, but they'd have to go on scroll rods. I don't know. I don't think I'll do, was it Jacob Does the Dark November? I do have one that I started a couple of years ago for that, but I might focus on Autumn is Joyful and maybe these 2, even though they're technically Halloween, but it could be fun. Because I'm thinking it'd be fun. All right, I'm going off camera, sorry. Let me get the fabric and the patterns. Because I've ironed them all. I've ironed the fabric and I've got everything kitted and ready to go. So for tomorrow, I really should get to work too. All right, sorry, noisy. I'm sorry. Halloween Quaker from Leela's Studio. I am really, since I started Autumn is as Joyful, I'm really loving her stitching patterns. I love that. And I did get the 32 count Murky, which is what the called for linen is. I'm hitting the camera again. It's the cord. So I did get the 32 count with the called for threads, which are, oh, I did baggy them up. Classic Colorworks and DMC. So that'll be fun. I could do that tomorrow, because if I put these guys on scroll rods, I can rotate these 3 projects through the month of November. See, I gotta kind of go by the seat of my pants. The second one is a Jacob piece I picked up. It's one of his older ones I picked up in 2022. Kitted it up. And I might start it on November 1st because that's in a lot of cultures, Day of the Dead, All Souls. All are equal in death. And I remember Caroline had the model at the First Stitch North retreat in 2022. Yeah, it's one of his oldies. 2016. Yeah, 2016. Then he had it reprinted in 2021, and I picked it up in the spring of 2022. And it's monochromatic. I've got 32 count charcoal Lugana. And the thread I chose, because it's monochromatic, Antique Wedding Dress. I think that's going to look gorgeous. So I might start that November 1st. So maybe tomorrow I'll put these 2 on scroll rods. Jingle Ball, I was contemplating, and of course they sucked me in. I did sign up for Jingle Ball. I signed up for some of the classes, just PDF, of course, because I live in Canada. How much of the Jingle Ball, I don't know. I will attend. I also signed up for Evertote Jacob Holiday Countdown, and then Stitch Essential, my LNS in London. It's the southeast end of southeast of London, end of London is Stitch Essential, and she has partnered with Tiny Modernist for a holiday countdown stitch along as well, and I ordered the kit. Maybe if I can put the link down below. She just announced it last week. Excuse me, so pre-ordering. I don't know how limited they are, but I will put the link below, and then you can check it out and see if that's something you want to do. It's a collaboration with Stitch Central in London, Ontario, and Tiny Modernist. I don't know what her shipping policies are outside of Canada. Yeah, because I just announced it, and December's coming up in a month. So anyways, I'll put the link below. You can decide if it's right for you. I ordered it. December's busy, so I've got the Evertote Modern Folk Embroidery Stitch Along, Jingle Ball, and then the kit for Stitches Central with Tiny Modernist collaboration for Advent. And it's December, and I really want to do Christmas tree and decorations for that month. And Laura's coming home for 3 weeks in December, and Daniel and Kate will be coming home for probably a week or two as well. And we have a big Jenkins get together too after. So I think November we'll see. And then I did order something special from 123 Stitch, a fully kitted up project that I ordered that I'm not going to show you today. It's going to be a project that I want to start in 2025 sometime. And it's fairly new type of project for me, and I'm excited, but I thought maybe I can, because I got to wrap my brain around it. It's going to be a fairly detailed project that's probably going to go on for a while, and then maybe in the new year when I do my plan, when I release my plans for 2025, I can show you what it is. But yeah, and I really don't have any haul coming in now, just because I came, I saw, I spent my saving. I saved up for this, and then I spent. So, yeah. So, I might have a new start for November. We'll see. But for now, it'll be Halloween Quaker tomorrow. All Are Equal in Death for November 1st. Work on Autumn is as Joyful tonight, probably. And maybe I can rotate those 3 projects, and then maybe December 1st I can unveil the Evertote Stitch Along box, which is up there. And I'm being a good girl because I put it up there. So there's a cupboard. I put it on top where it says don't open till December 1st, but I'll probably open it November 30th so I can kit it up and get it, the fabric ironed, and it's sorted. And I'll talk more about what I did with last year's Stitch Along, because I didn't follow it along as a Stitch Along just because it was just very difficult for me. Anyways, I'll talk more probably about that in terms of my next Flosstube. But for now, that's it. It is 4:07. The Jeanette Douglas retreat opens up in less than an hour. Hopefully I can get in. If not, oh well. And I gotta make dinner. And I've got chaos all around me right now that I have to sort and put away before the cats sit in on it. Anyways, I'm going to figure that out. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this rather broken up and rather lengthy, because I'm looking at this is 49 minutes. Doesn't include the other clips that I filmed earlier. So it always takes a while for me to get the videos from my phone to my laptop for editing. So it might not come out till later this week, which it will be November. But thank you for joining me. I know this is a long one, very long one. And I'm just looking around at my chaos and I'm a bit overwhelmed. So I gotta break it down into small bites and organize it and figure out my world. And I gotta get the prize to my winner, the Blackbird Designs chart. I'm hoping to get that out tomorrow or Friday by the end of the week, and I will email her. That is it for today. I hope you enjoyed this and you were able to stay. I know it's a long one. It can be a bit overwhelming with everything. Remember, take a little bit of time each day to do something for yourself, such as putting needle, thread to fabric to create a little magic in your world. Take care until next time.